I've actually been holding out on this statement right here for some time because I wanted to see if anybody was going to bring it up or not about the Confederacy. All right, listen to me for a second. According to this country, Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson, Andrew Jackson, all these people that or let's say the South celebrates, okay? And don't get me wrong, I know somewhat about this history gets vague, so I'm gonna have to go brush back up again, but I do know this, and I do realize this, and so I'm gonna talk about this just for a second, okay? And what I'm gonna talk about is this. We had a civil war in this country, and a civil war is the most bloodiest of all wars. But according to the North, the South succeeded or wanted to succeed from the Union, thereby being traitors. All right? And the South was going to start their own country. Okay? And of course, a lot of people try to dress up history and try to say that that Confederate flag does not represent racism. I beg to differ. It does not represent discrimination, and it does not represent slavery. I rebel and dissent on all points, because now that part of the history I do know. And we may even talk about it a little bit later just to educate people. But notice, that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up for educational purposes, because people in this country believe that the Emancipation Proclamation signed by old Abe was something that a document that he used to free the slaves. And Abraham Lincoln, to tell you the truth and just be bluntly about it, he didn't give one bit. He didn't give one damn about freeing those slaves. I'm telling y'all, it's just, you know, the history books in America, there's really no true history, because it's all skewed. It's all a lie. Every bit of it is. And what's disturbing to me, I don't care if it has to do with so-called black history or so-called white history or so-called American history or just history in general. Why is it that there's always someone of some other nation that always wants to try to steal the glory of antiquities from another nation and then rewrite that history, repackage it, and then have it to resurface as if the history that they're writing is the truth, and then turn around? Because you know what's going to happen, right? A few generations down the road, people are not even going to realize that the history that they're actually believing is a lie, unless you had somebody else there writing the truth about that history and then presenting it. For instance, do we really truly know the history of the American Indians in this country? Or do we know what they have told us? You see, that's what I'm talking about. You see, I've done my own independent research, and I've checked a lot of things out. And when my people, so-called black people, when they wrong, y'all know the truth. I'm one of the first ones to come out here and tell them they're straight up, flat out wrong. But also, I would do that if you are white too, and tell you when you're wrong. Or if you're Hispanic or Latino, it makes no difference to me. When you're wrong as hell. That's all there is to it. Our problem is that there is racial bias. There is racial discrimination on all sides. And I'm not diminishing history whatsoever at all. I know the truth about it. I think the troubling thing here is what I really want to get to is this. Is why is it that it is so hard for some people to recognize and acknowledge the truth about history? Why is there this tap dancing that always goes around? And why is it that people refuse to acknowledge that and then make the necessary changes and then go forward? That's the real issue that we're facing right here. Is people have the inability and being literally incapable of telling the truth. You know, some people, it's just inconceivable for them to actually to conform to the truth. And that is what's disturbing more than anything. So, the Confederacy was considered a bunch of traitors in this country, a bunch of war criminals. And that's the truth. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up here before I really start going into it. Tell me what you think. And I don't want to know your opinion. I want to know facts too, okay?